Hi, and today on What's Going On in Shayna's comment section, I am going to show a conversation, a list of comments that have gone on, and how it shows how quickly men drop the veil of niceness and unity for the sake of getting what they want. Let's watch. So this person right up here is commenting on a video where I was talking about how women should not settle in relationships at all. That's all. That's all. I didn't mention race. I didn't bring up any of that. But this person felt the need to bring up some stuff, and then the conversation began. So let us read together. We have to stop the toxic rhetoric when it comes to Black relationships. Let's work together to get out of this hole because we're all we've got. Right, okay. Then this commenter goes, she's not talking about any particular race, men in general. Correct. We continue on with Sweet to Sour, who says, how about you start speaking up for Black relationships? Let's work together. I've heard another man who doesn't take action say something similarly. Do you go to misogynistic spaces and say this to men? Sweet and Sour, thank you. Sweet and Sour, thank you. Now, there's going to be a lot of ooga booga that comes up right over here, but I want to focus on this for a hot second because there are way too many men who feel way too comfortable hopping into women's space, like people with uterus spaces, to try and co-opt the conversation to make them feel nicer, to center their comfort in the midst of our realities of having to encounter them, which is what happens here. Now, some people just go straight to the generalized unity, but within the Black community, what I find tends to be the thing is, well, we both have to fight the man together. We both have to, right up here, when it comes to Black relations, let's work together to get out of this hole because we're all we've got. There's a lot of talk that's like this, and historically, Black women have been in a very precarious situation because the civil rights movement was misogynist, but the women's rights movement was racist. So where does it put a Black woman? So this whole idea of we're all we've got historically has not always been the case. And we also know that when it comes to actually getting things done for all of them, I would like to say all of the major movements in the United States, Black women have been at the forefront consistently, especially when it comes to recent politics changes, policy. Black women tends to be the movers and shakers to actually get things done from the grassroots up. So with that, let's get into this ooga booga. First of all, to Sweet and Sour, first of all, don't ever get the notion that you could tell me what I need to do. Stay in your place as a woman. Secondly, I'm not the person that this post reminds you of. Thirdly, like I said, we have to create positive social systems to get out of this hole. Too many single mothers, which in turn negatively affect the men and women coming from those households. Furthermore, affecting the dating landscape, Black men in jail, Black girls having babies too young without a father present, our teenagers catching AIDS and STDs too soon. Too much violence. Our kids can't read past the 5th grade level, etc. We are in a destructive loop. And I got some more to say on this, baby girl. You got issues. Pray to the Most High to get all that hate and vitriol you have for men out your heart. Be blessed. Now, I don't know which Southern preacher I just channeled, but I felt them very, very clearly. They were just right here. I'm going to call him Reverend. I don't know. I'm going to figure that out. But I'm going to just move myself to the side so that way you guys can have a very clear look at how quickly the narrative of unity changed. The trying to gently, in comparison to this, what was spoken earlier was much more gentle. But still, change the conversation, focus it on how do we build a man? How do we help the man? How do we, whatever, right? And then it very quickly somehow turned into teenagers catching AIDS, right? So there's a tantrum happened in my comment section, and this happens often. And while there's a lot that we could discuss here, I don't want to numb your brains too much with all of this. I would just like to gently bring us right up here for a hot second. First of all, don't ever get the notion that you could ever tell me what I need to do. Stay in your place as a woman. That idea of let's all kumbaya together, that initial notion of we're all in this together and we're all we've got, this is what was under that. This was what was not so deep underneath the surface under that. Am I saying that all men feel this way? No. Am I saying that all Black men feel this way? No. Am I saying that we don't know who actually feels this way and who doesn't, so we need to be wary of all men, period? Yes. Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. And with that, I think that it helps to hear this for what it is, to see this for what it is, because he was uninterested in hearing anything that anyone had to say other than patting him on the back and calling him a big boy, right? Because at the end of the day, this is all they want. Stay in your place as a woman. And that place is always under their foot in their minds. So when I encourage people to decenter men, when I put forth facts, hard evidence, studies that talk about the benefits of women prioritizing themselves, not just for themselves, but for their families and for the community at large. When I talk about scientifically how this shows up in other species, from birds to mammals to primates, when I talk about why we need to be doing this, this is another example of what this is an example, not necessarily of why we need to be doing this, even though I do think that's true. I think that it is more so an example of a way to help us see the benefits of decentering men. Because if you keep them in the center of your lives, then all of that will come out, but it'll come out so slowly. It'll come out in droplets. It'll come out in a way where you don't know how much poison you're drinking until one day, years later, you look around at your life and say, what have I done and who am I? If you can decenter them in the beginning, and you don't have to, you could decenter them and still date them. You could decenter them and still be married to one. I'll talk about that in another video. But the ability to do so helps you to see that kind of stuff sooner and more clearly, just like we did in that comment section. So I would like to hear your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have anybody that you think needed to read that? Feel free to send it along. Also, if you see anything video wise or like comment wise that you'd like me to have some input into, feel free to tag me and stuff. I'm here for it. Okay, that's everything, and I'll talk to you guys later. Also, don't forget, subscribe and like and comment, all that stuff. Okay, all right, that's all. Bye.